think it fell. This week is birthday week. Today is Aaron's 32nd birthday, and then in like 5 days is Colton's 10th birthday, which is my little boy. And today for Aaron, we're doing a apple upside down cake. So instead of pineapple, we're doing apple because we have no pineapples in the house, but we have tons of apples. I'm gonna make like a caramel sauce to go on top of the apples and a homemade cake. So let's see how this turns out because I've never made this before. First things first, we're starting out with the caramel. This is just 1/3 cup of sugar and 3 tablespoons of water. We're gonna turn the fire on medium, and we are going to put the lid on here. We're not gonna lift the lid, and we are going to let this caramelize and turn golden brown without touching it. Keep an eye on it and make sure it doesn't burn. These are my canned apples. I got them drained. I'm gonna drain them a little more because there's a little more liquid in there because you want all that liquid out of there. You can totally use store-bought apples too. I just have a whole collection of canned apples, so we're just doing canned. All right, so it got to a very dark caramel color, and I added in 3 tablespoons of butter, so I'm letting that butter melt down right now. I'm gonna get it fully incorporated. I'm still working in that butter. Caramel came out so good. Now we're starting with our cake batter. I have a room temperature butter right here. We're using the whole stick, so a 1/2 cup of butter, 1/2 cup of sugar, and a pinch of salt. Take my whisk, and I am just gonna work in the butter, the sugar, and the salt together until it's creamed together. It actually happened insanely fast because the butter is so soft. All right, now that we got the butter, sugar, and salt creamed together, we're gonna add in the eggs. This is 1½ eggs. So I just cracked 2 eggs in the bowl and then like scooped out 1/2 of one. Now we're gonna get that mixed in there. So I don't actually have cake flour, I have bread flour, and I took out 2 tablespoons of the flour and added in cornstarch, and that gives you cake flour. And then I added in 1 extra tablespoon of flour as well, because this recipe called for a 1.5 tablespoons of almond powder, but I don't have that, so I just did an extra tablespoon of flour. We're gonna sift that out. We need 1/3 teaspoon of baking powder. I'm doing 1/4 plus a tiny bit. All right, that's all the ingredients for the cake batter, so we're gonna get that incorporated. We're just gonna mix until it just comes together. We don't wanna overly mix it because we don't want to dense gummy bread. This is the batter. It's actually not much batter. This is the pan that I'm gonna bake the cake in because this is the only pan I have that is like non-stick, and I'm thinking it's gonna like fall out how it's supposed to. It's kind of big, but I'm using it because I just don't want to I want to do all this work and then it doesn't like flip out properly. Shoving it down with the paper from the stick of butter. I'm gonna take my apples and I'm gonna start just putting my little sliced apples all over the bottom of the pan. And when I can these apples, I can them with cinnamon and sugar, so they're already really sweet apples. Caramel completely hardened while I was putting the apples in the pan, so I'm gonna put a little splash of milk in here, heat it back up, see if I can salvage it. So the milk definitely helps salvage it. I just put maybe a tablespoon and another tablespoon or 2, get that incorporated, and then once this is all liquid, I'm gonna pour it over my apples. Adding the milk salvaged it, thank the good Lord. All right, so we have our apples and our caramel, and we are just going on top of all of them. This is looking so good. All the apples are pretty much covered on the bottom. I'm just gonna make sure they all got a thin little layer. Now our cake batter has been sitting a hot little minute. We're gonna get that on top. It's not very liquidy, so we're gonna have to spread it the best we can with a spoon. I'm just gonna try to work this on top of that caramel without disturbing the caramel too much. That's what I did. You guessed it. I made a whole nother thing of cake batter because I just wasn't letting this get ruined by not having enough cake batter. So 2 times the cake batter. We're gonna bake this at 350 degrees for about 40 to 45 minutes. Okay, it's been about an hour. The cake is still really warm, but we're about to flip it. I'm so nervous. I'm going to gently hit the sides just so it kind of maybe releases a little. If this is a flop, I'm gonna feel terrible because I don't have a backup. Here goes nothing. So, got the cake pan. I don't think it fell. It did not fall. Oh my gosh. What? Okay. What? Oh, it did fall.
Mom.
Okay, hang on. Okay, this ain't bad. Just a few apples stuck. I can put those. This looks so good. Your top view. Let me get these apples back on there and let me show you. Okay, this is what it's looking like. It almost looks like pineapples, doesn't it? It looks so good. I can't wait to cut open into this and see what it tastes like. So the cake is delicious, but The bread kind of has almost like a cornbread texture. I'm not sure why. It's soft but cornbready, but it is delicious.
Let me try it. Cornbread texture. Yep, cornbread texture.